Hey, what's up?
Just in time. Look at that.
That's just wasn't that your the name of your character in our time travel movie?
Just in time?
Just in time, I believe.
I think it was Just in Time.
It sounds about right. Episode 175 of the EriDan Film Festival. Last Monday of the month, we talked television. This is going to be a wild night.
It is going to be a wild night.
There's at least 3 of us who have watched a lot of this TV show.
I'm not one of them.
I knew that.
I've not watched a lot. I've enjoyed it though, but we'll talk.
We're going to talk. We're going to bring people in. We're going to be talking about the TV show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, streaming on Netflix currently. And yeah, you can join us, EriDanLive.com. It's just like that. We're going to talk about a TV show for a while. And then we'll talk about what 2 movies you're going to watch for next Monday for our big double feature. So it's a magical night.
It is magical.
Are you ready to make some magic? Are you
Let's bring some people in.
All right, let's
One ring to rule the moon. One ring to fight.
It's Brittany.
It is Estrella.
Estrella 28.
28, of course. Absolutely. How are you, Brittany?
I am getting over a sinus infection. So
oh man.
I'm better than I have been.
Well, good. And I know you're excited for tonight.
I'm very excited. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know what that says about me.
No,
but
hey, anywhere you find joy.
Found something.
Give her a ride home. I don't know. Speaking of joy.
I'm sorry, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
I'm sorry, White Dave.
Oh, that is very true. How are you, White Dave?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
I'm sure I did not watch as many as some of you folks, but I did. I did watch some.
Good. Well, and
I've watched enough to know that I'm not 1/8 Chippewa. I'm 100% from Chippewa.
Speaking of Chippewa. The dramatic pan to the left that just occurred on Stacey and Wade's camera. The reveal of Wade being on the couch was actually quite dramatic. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Good.
Are you ready to talk about this show?
Well, wait. I have the feeling this is all that we're going to get. So.
Oh, I have a feeling there'll be some comments.
I'm sure there'll be comments, but as far as people actually getting on camera.
Well, except the only reason we're here tonight.
Oh, I didn't know if she was going to join us or not. You know?
Yeah, to talk to know.
It's like you chose this series like 3 months ago.
It feels like it's been more than a month.
Yeah.
Holy crap. It's only been a month. Oh, man.
I think it's funny that you said the only reason we're all here tonight, because I'm like, you're right, I did. I messaged her a lot. And I said, I blame you for this. This is your fault.
I am happy to take all the blame.
Yes, we were doing pumpkin carving the other night, and she's getting messages from you as you're watching the last episodes.
Well, Adam's here to talk about a show he didn't watch. See, I was hoping that there'd be some miracle of miracles, and Adam would have just got hooked on it and been like, holy crap, I watched all.
This is the one musical he got really into.
Did he watch at least one episode to decide he didn't like it? Or did he just say it wasn't for him?
I thought he started the first one. He
said he didn't get through the first episode, was what his original comment was. Maybe things have changed in the last week.
Well, I
was not even aware of this series.
Me either.
well, it's on the CW. It literally, I saw a statistic. It has the record for the lowest rated show to ever get renewed for 4 seasons.
Wow.
I believe it.
It was a show that didn't get a ton of publicity. First of all, it's CW, so it's one of the more minor networks, and then it just it has a very specific demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I think
Adam.
it was
That's the
originally going to be on Showtime, which is why some of the earlier songs you can find the explicit versions on YouTube because they had to make it a little more censored for the CW version.
That was censored. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the uncensored version of like I'm a good person and I give good parent. They're pretty explicit.
Oh my gosh, that I'm a good person one in the Broadway with her. Was that her real parents? Because like
I think it was. Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, the network, I mean, obviously the show probably has had more viewers in the last month just because of us, but also because it's on Netflix versus the CW, which turned into the DC superhero network.
Yes.
She doesn't have a superpower.
She has some powers.
She has something. That's for sure.
I mean, I honestly was not into it the first 15 minutes or so, and then I slowly started getting into it, and then I thought, is this a little anti-Semitic? And then I thought, okay, Rachel Bloom, she wrote it. Okay, she's one of us. It's self-deprecating. I mean, her lawyer boss.
Oh yeah, the first few episodes, her lawyer boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl does not have a great filter early on.
So, Dan, how far did you get?
I made it probably 3/4 of the way through first season,
Okay.
but then I started reading up on it just because I wanted to know, okay, where is this going? So I could, have a brain tonight and not just be like, I committed it's quite a bit of time.
Go.
I watched the first 5.
Dave got through the first 5. How about Wade and Stacy? How far have you guys made it through? Wade, of course.
How many did you get, Stace?
I may have watched parts of 3 or 4.
Okay.
Wade watched more than
Wade,
anyone
how far
besides
did you
me.
get?
Yeah,
I'll take a bet on that.
Yeah, I know Brittany finished it. So.
Wait,
So how much?
you got to
How much
season
Wade?
3?
I got halfway through season 3.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
I got that part where when she tried to kill herself, and then kind of got. I don't know. It just wasn't it.
Spoiler alert.
Well, except
sorry.
Except
Eric,
that word is on the Netflix screen.
I figured it'd be obvious, guys.
Yeah, we have 10 episodes left. So
Okay.
we
Oh, so you're into the final
finished.
season. Very nice.
We did a pretty good power watch yesterday, but we decided not to try to kill ourselves to see it all.
So Jennifer's been watching the whole thing with you?
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Yes. It's been quite enjoyable. The production value of the songs is spectacular.
I will never understand how they were able to get it through any of those with a straight face ever.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. There's no way.
When you first said it was a musical, that turned me off. Not as much as it turned Adam off, but I was like, it's like, but they were actually funny.
Oh, they were
it's impressive.
Oh, yeah.
And
It really is built. It really is built around the songs.
And the sheer breadth of the different musical genres they parody and were fun is really impressive.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy the Cats episode, Eric?
I enjoyed the Cats episode quite a bit. You know what I love that you're getting there. Honestly, what struck me about the show is that it never feels like they cut corners. I mean, obviously they had a limited budget because all shows do, right? But it never felt like this could have been so much better if they could have put more money into this. It just felt like it was everything it was ever intended to be. Like every production number feels like it's right at the right size, at the right volume, with the right effects. and sometimes it's more simplistic and sometimes it's way extraordinary. But I love the variety of that. I love the variety of how they input music throughout the episodes, where it's not excessive and it's not like, oh, I'm so not in the mood for another song. And what I love in particular, because I do not enjoy cringe humor at all, I love the fact that 95% of the time they don't make you sit through the cringe scene. They set it up, they take a break, and they come back and they recap what happened. Right? You don't have to sit through what a lot of shows would use as the humor, right? And the humor in this is so much smarter and so much more clever than shows that just rely on uncomfortable moments to get their humor from.
Well, there's your budget cut right there.
It also helps that there were no really known actors in most of it. I mean, it was a lot of people that I guarantee you their payroll for actors was not all that great given the size of the cast.
Yeah, but it was impressive how consistently, intensely talented the whole cast was. Like, every time Paula had a solo, you just remember how insane her voice is.
CMU alum, come on.
And then, even just, side characters, Tim from The Office gets a solo in, season 3, and you're like, oh, he's a really good singer.
Yeah, amazing voice, right?
Yeah.
I assume that they cast everyone with that being a requirement. Even if they didn't know necessarily what or when or if they were going to sing, just having that as
voice.
But I appreciated that.
But that works.
Yeah, it works for the character.
Yeah, and I appreciated that when they had them sing purposefully at events or whatever, it wasn't the same quality as the musical numbers. You know what I mean? When you're like, oh.
It's more like a real person, an amateur just walking out and singing.
Well, that's the best part, where it's clear that in her mind she's an amazing
she sounds
singer.
great.
She's a terrible singer.
So Adam says he started episode 1 is off, we never went back, but then he says the show was supposed to be funny. Yeah, if you kept watching it.
Watching 20 minutes is not necessarily.
The first part is very much just set up.
Yeah, you have to get past the first show.
I mean, the casting in this show is actually truly impressive.
Adam, was middle of the 4th season. Really, you needed to watch up to the middle of
if you get after about 20 hours, it really starts to get better.
It picks up a lot.
In a row. You have to do it in a row.
Once Daniel joins the cast, it's kind of
They are really good at keeping you hanging on there at the end of the episodes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. They are really good at that.
And it was clever the way they changed up the credits every season too.
Yeah, are we watching? They did 2 different interviews on. It was some YouTube channel that during COVID was doing a couple different benefit reunion shows with different casts, and they did 2 episodes of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend cast, and they were talking about on one of them that they weren't actually required or originally planning to do different theme songs for every season. They just kind of thought it'd be fun as an extra bonus thing to do. So the chief songwriter Adam Schlesinger just kept coming up with ideas for theme songs that they could just try out as the show progressed.
That's right. Isn't Adam Schlesinger the one that died?
He died pretty early in COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But he was the head songwriter and kind of,
He wrote something else, too. Something that we had watched. I remember talking about him before.
I mean, this show has so many side characters, right? Where I was counting last night, and easily 15 to 18 recurring characters that come back, and you go, oh, they brought back this person, and it's it's just so many people to keep track of. And I love the fact that even though Rachel Bloom plays the main character, there are complete storylines and complete scenes that she's not in, right? I think is harder for us for comedy, where it's if Jerry's not in the scene in the first 3 seasons, it doesn't feel right, and it's this does this so well, where you get invested in so many of the side characters going on with their lives.
I prefer
that's true of any great ensemble comedy. You can't have it all be about Steve Carell on The Office, or you're going to get tired of The Office. And you have to do that if you're going to do it right. It can't all be about Ted Danson on Cheers.
But it's impressive how many of the side characters were introduced really early on, and how many of them have like significant character growth over the course of the whole series.
Yeah.
It's interesting going back and watching episode 1 and seeing the or 2 or whatever, seeing the introduction of Heather for the first time.
Yeah.
Who's just this disinterested neighbor who's like, "You seem really interesting. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
follow you around.
Can I study you?"
Well, when she's giving her presentation in front of her psychology class.
Yeah.
Heather is amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that.
We were discussing who our favorites were, and Heather was definitely at the one of my top three.
Yeah, I think
100%.
Yeah, Heather, White Josh,
and
I love
Father
Father
Brow. We
Brow.
said, yeah.
Now, did we ever get a reason of what happened to Karen, or did she just leave?
I think she just left the show. Yeah, she's one of the few who kind of left. It wasn't actually written out explicitly. Yeah,
Okay.
which is kind of too bad because she
It was just like, oh wait,
No more
Karen's
Karen.
completely gone, and I don't miss her. But
No.
I don't even remember who that was.
I thought she got fired. Actually,
She was the one who had the pet snake that she was trying to raise money for. She was the
Oh,
one
yeah.
who
Oh,
did the
yes.
party for them.
Complaining about
Yeah.
Angelique and well,
Yeah,
Who kept
Angelique.
sticking her head in? Yeah.
Yeah, she did just kind of disappear, didn't she?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. I didn't.
the party for them.
no, she was like the blonde in the office that had the cat.
Yeah, and I'll say the reason I stopped after 5 episodes is, well, first of all, I do love a show that is given a chance to play out its entire story. It's so frustrating these days. I try to, if I'm watching a show that's already over, I always check somehow, trying to avoid spoilers, but find out did it get a chance to end, or is it just, they got canceled after season 3 and there's tons of unresolved storylines and nobody's satisfied, and
Right.
I try to avoid those. So I give that a lot of credit. It's really just, if this were like a 2 seasons, 10 episodes each season streaming show or something like that, I'd probably watch the whole thing. But I'm not going to watch 4 seasons with that many episodes. I just don't have the time, really.
I kind of feel it's worth it.
It didn't pull me in quite enough for that.
Season 3.
Yeah, I made it through 3 and a half.
3 was is just fantastic.
Season 3 is very impressive. Yeah.
I mean, if you can get to season 3, it really. I mean, given now, I was just devastated for about 2 days. When we got to the climax of season 3, I was just sad in my real life. It was very emotional.
So I got to watch it the rest of the way through, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You've got to keep going at this point.
I tried to get him to watch it the other day. Because now I'm done. And I had watched like three episodes because he watches while I'm at work.
Yeah,
So
and this is and I think they said that they actually had the final sentence of the show written from like the very beginning, so they had very much planned this entire arc, and it's really
No
cool.
spoilers. No
that-
spoilers.
I know Brittany has opinions about the end of the show, but
At the end.
At the end of the show. What?
Rosebud.
Oh no! What did you do?
oh, I love the season 2 opener.
What did he say?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
You wake up with Suzanne Plachette in bed. At the end of the episode.
And then I love the Trent parody.
You should wear more sweaters.
Yeah, and then I love Trent's version of the season 2 opener. Where he just,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about Trent. I don't
Trent's
know.
Trent is interesting.
I think they just overdid it a little bit.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
a
I
little
appreciate that
bit.
they mostly dropped him after his like big moment.
After
but,
that, that.
yeah,
that
but they
didn't
kind of he
happen.
was a good instigator.
Dropped him? Is that a pun?
But he was a really good foil to kind of show you, like, look, Rebecca's actually insane, and it kind of seems like normal. It kind of gets normalized, and it kind of seems like cute on her because she's like the main character and a woman and kind of comes across as non-threatening. But like when a guy does this stuff, it's like actually really creepy. Remember, Rebecca's really creepy. So I feel like Trent actually is very useful as a role in the show. But
yeah, it definitely showed you how cringe some of the stuff that she was doing was, that you didn't necessarily, you kind of just thought she was crazy, but then you're like, oh, this is really bad.
Yeah,
Actually, I just thought everybody went to Harvard was that way.
Conan O'Brien's that way?
I mean, I don't know his personal life. He might be.
Actually, yeah. Actually, the funniest part I think was whenever she was trying to befriend Valencia. She kept talking about going to Harvard. She goes, "Does everybody who went to Harvard and Yale say that they went to Harvard?" Yeah.
That's what I always say. If you want to know if somebody went to Harvard, just talk to them for about 30 seconds. You'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I had heard that Valencia's character was only supposed to be in like the first 2 episodes, but they liked her, the actress, enough and her character enough that they just kind of wrote her into the season regular.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and she is another character who grows a lot over the course of the whole series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah.
So
I have
I'm
had
looking.
issues. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I guess I really watched 6 episodes because Amanda was watching one when we were over carving pumpkins that
Yeah,
I
I
saw
made you watch
most
the
of.
Cats episode because it was
Wow.
amazing.
Fantastic episode.
It's very good. Yeah.
I quoted that one at you.
Yeah.
It's not clear by the
It's a good
discussion.
quote.
This is not for kids or people who are easily offended. Or even normally offended. I'm going to even say,
Yeah, that was.
if you're half of a decent human being, you will be offended by this show.
Yeah, I was
The
pretty
rest
over
of us really liked it.
Oh, you mean that show where they go into this whole song about supposedly describing what makes a jellicle cat, then just talk about things that every cat has?
That is a fantastic line.
This is worse than the wasted plot device of the heaviside layer. I will say I have had some issues in the past recommending the show to people just because people who I know would really like the show, when they hear that it's called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, are like kind of turned off by that because it comes across as like, oh, it's like going to be like about like stereotypical women are crazy or whatever. And
Right,
no, it's actually. And then I had a friend who was like, oh, it's actually really good. I just never would have watched it because of the name.
Yeah, I think that may have been part of their problem. There's
Well, and there was a movie called My Super Ex-Girlfriend
with Uma Thurman.
Wow.
So Rachel Bloom, her mother's maiden name is Rosenberg.
Wow.
No relation.
Are
Shelley
you sure?
Rosenberg, a musician, and Alan Bloom, a healthcare lawyer. Those are her parents.
Well, there you go. So she
A
writing
lawyer.
the lawyer role. She knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do respect that.
She's an only child, and she only has one child.
Write what you know.
Yeah. He can play
Speaking
the
of
only child
that only
lawyer.
has one child. Wait, that's not true.
That's Scott? Yes, it's Scott.
You didn't watch it.
It's Scott. As a baby, he'll grow. Bring Scott back.
What?
I see this as an absolute win.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you're such a disappointment.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Fair enough.
Well, you actually watched less than Adam.
Yeah.
Well, Adam watched the beginning of the first episode.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Scott
So
didn't
Scott
watch
watched
any.
less.
Oh, less. Oh, sorry, I heard for reverse that. Yeah, you're good. Well done. But probably hates it less than Adam.
I'm just looking to burn off from freaking jury duty today.
Oh my.
Oh,
You had jury duty?
Oh yeah.
it's a civic duty.
I get mad when they
It's a
don't.
big duty.
We should watch that next.
You said duty.
I did.
You said jury.
Dude.
Just
I
trying
like
to
how the
stick with
EriDan
lawyer
logo is
theme.
now
I
in
appreciate it.
Brittany's house.
It is
Yeah.
kind of. It looks like she's got like.
It does. It looks like I have like a.
She's getting royalties. Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We don't
What has
score,
Rachel Bloom done since? I know she wrote a book.
She does a lot of character voice actor work. So she's been doing a lot of that stuff on television. You know, and she
Did
was
the
in
Angry
the
Birds movie.
Trolls World Tour movie.
Oh yeah.
But I do love that her book, the cover of her book, you should look it up. It's a parody of the Judy Blume books.
Oh, I don't think I knew she had a book.
I looked at it first and went, that cover looks so. Oh, I get it.
Oh, that's funny.
Is it I Want to Be Where the Normal People Are?
That is
Yes.
correct. Ah, look at that. You
Eric
bringing it
will
up?
bring it
Or
up.
I bring it up?
You're bringing it up. I just.
All right, I'm bringing it up. Here we go. Rachel Bloom. I want to be where the normal people are.
It looks
That's a
like
great cover.
Babysitter's Club.
Yep, that's a great cover.
Oh my gosh.
Very
that's so funny.
1980s
Kind of looks thick.
scholastic book order.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would have bought that in a
Yeah.
book order.
At your local library. I'm adding this to my wish list. I'm gonna do that right now. Yeah, bummer.
Really?
As long as the final
why not?
episodes don't ruin the show for you.
I read. What are you saying? I don't read?
Okay, he'll get the ebook. No, he got the audiobook and listened to it on his commute.
I like it.
Does she narrate the audiobook?
There is an audiobook where she reads the book.
Yeah.
See, that I like that so much better when the author is the narrator. Every once in a while I get an author who shouldn't be, but usually it's the right thing to do.
I hope there's songs in the middle of the audiobook.
Yeah.
Just sing the chapter titles. That would be fun.
Oh, read and sung by the author. It actually says that on the audiobook. Read and sung by
Okay, then I guess
Now
that
it's definitely going on your list.
that is the version to get that if they're actually.
Yeah, you might be right on that one. I might take the book off my list now. 4 hours and 51 minutes.
That's not bad.
Rachel Bloom Entertainment. For
That'll get you through a few commutes. Yeah.
If you're looking for
Do
her
we,
website, it looks like she has a tour right now. Rachel Bloom, Death, Let Me Do My Show at the Orpheum in New York City, December 7th through January 6th.
Dan, this needs to be your poster for your comedy show.
This?
Yes, we need to put
We
you in
didn't
a
take a picture
dress,
that matches that. No.
running away with a microphone.
We'll talk poster later.
Wow. That's awesome.
Do we talk
There you
about
go.
how her husband was Dr. Roth?
What's in the store? What's in the
the
store?
other
What's
Dr.
in-
Roth?
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What
Dr.
kind of
Roth.
Rachel Bloom
Dr.
swag
Roth.
is available on the
Some
Rachel
shirts.
Bloom stuff store?
That's it. The tour
Well,
hoodie.
not everyone can have the extensive EriDan shop.
Well, I understand.
She has sheet music on her site. That's kind of fun.
That was featured. Let's see what best selling
I
is. Oh,
wonder
she
which-
still only has 3 items.
Oh, you can join the fan club.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dan is unwilling to bring up the store.
Merch.
Learn the
sent-
secret handshake.
Yeah, I'm like, what's he
Rachel, if
doing?
you're watching this, we appreciate
Oh,
your
sorry. I had it open.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
I didn't realize it popped in a new window.
Oh.
There are 3 sweatshirts, and they're pre-order. This is pre-order here.
Yeah, they're all for the tour, which is, and the tour hasn't started yet, so that's fair.
Well, that's this one's September 23rd at the Lucille Lortel Theater.
Oh,
It looks like
never
she's
mind.
now at the Orpheum.
Interesting.
So is she the daughter of Gene Wilder and Ula from the producers?
No.
Thank you, Dave.
No, Scott. She's not.
Change your name to Bialystok.
Boom. I'm drowning.
You can actually get the soundtrack. You can get
You're wearing a cardboard belt?
The soundtrack to what?
Only on
Eric?
special occasions.
You can get the soundtrack from the TV show, right? So if you want, if you want to listen to enjoy the songs while you're driving in your car, wearing your West Covina t-shirt. Only 2 hours.
Only 2 hours from the beach.
We're in traffic.
I was going to say 4.
It's closer than we are.
That's awesome.
Because of traffic.
Yeah.
They apparently actually did get the key to the city of West Covina because West Covina got a lot of good PR from being featured on this
I was
show.
going to say.
And that was the actual key that they used in the TV show when Rebecca got the key to the city.
Funny.
I used to stay at the Fairfield Inn in West Covina because we have an office in Glendora, which is the neighboring town, right on Route 66.
Very
So
Get
you
your
were only
kicks.
2 hours from the beach?
With
Man,
traffic.
Depends on the time of day. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lake beach, right?
Nope. It was a real beach.
In case anybody watched Saturday Night Live this weekend.
There was some really funny stuff on Saturday Night Live. This
It was an above average episode, very much so.
I
Our
didn't hear-
unknown
who was the
host,
Who?
Nate Bergazzi.
Who?
Exactly.
Right.
He's a stand-up comic.
Ah,
He,
It's been selling out.
They were.
theaters.
I remember Seth. He was on, I think, Seth Meyers a week or so ago, and he was talking to him. And Seth said, the writers used to love it when a stand-up was the host because they didn't have to write an opening.
That's funny.
The best part was Christopher Walken did a guest spot in the opening, and then he introduced the Foo Fighters as Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
Oh, he's so funny.
Yeah, that was good. It was a very. The humor wasn't over the top. The humor was very. Sort of like his stand-up routine. It was just very interesting, very observational, just very it was good. It was so there were no massive this is going to go viral moments, but it was just a solid episode.
Although the George Washington one, really had some humor in it, and it's
Oh,
a
it
lot
did.
of comedians do that material. You know, he talks about football. They go, "What's that?" He goes, "Well, it's a game you play with your feet." No. Well, sometimes you kick a ball twice.
Are there any kickers? A little bit.
Yeah, you get 1 point or 3 points depending on.
Yeah,
it's pretty
good
fun.
episode.
Well, I mean,
We're sort of into what else have you been
Saturday
watching?
Night Live. They have been talking about Saturday Night Live not being as funny as it used to be since the 80s.
Oh, I know.
Like,
Well, since the original cast left, they've been talking about that.
I mean, fun fact: if you want to see how good SNL is, just compare recent Ghostbusters. Old
You can-
Ghostbusters.
SNL has always gone through ups and downs. I mean, you've had the Charles Rocket, cast, and you've had the Eddie Murphy cast. You've had the Tim, the Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry cast, and you've had the Tim Kazurinsky group. It's
Well, the thing they say is the cast that was on when you were in 10th through 12th grade is the one that you consider the best cast in most cases.
See, not for me. To me, because it's after I was definitely old. The Phil Hartman era is to me the golden age. I absolutely was a huge Phil Hartman fan.
I'll just
I
pick the
didn't
cast
watch
with
it
Dean
in 10th
Edwards.
and 12th grade.
The 2 years of Dean Edwards. Thank you. There you go.
Or the Robert Downey Jr. season.
Hey, I like Tim Kazurinsky. No, I'm kidding.
The Conan
I mean,
season.
Tim Kazurinsky was these are like Tim Meadows. He was a fine, small player in the cast. He was perfectly good.
Yeah.
But he was one of the best they had. That was not great.
That was side of a problem. I mean, honestly, for me, it was when Mike Myers and
Dana Carvey. Oh, yeah.
I mean, like those years there,
Now, Adam says his issues. He has no idea who some of the guest hosts are. Well, this year so far, I mean, Pete Davidson, some singer I'd never heard of, and
You got Timothy Chalamet coming up in 2 weeks.
who I sort of heard of, but they can't get actors to. Actors aren't allowed to be on it because they're normally on it promoting something.
Yeah.
That's why they bring on so and so. Because of the strike, they can't promote anything they're working on.
So you can bring on reality show people. You can bring on singers. You can bring on comedians. Yeah, you can't bring on actors who might be considered to be promoting a project.
Right. Unless could bring on an evergreen, like Tom Hanks could probably do it. Steve Martin could probably do it.
And Christopher Walken was on it. I mean, he wasn't hosting, but he was on it with no problem.
Yeah. Mick Jagger was on last week.
Yes.
not an actor.
No.
But he plays one on TV.
And Dave Grohl was actually in a sketch or two.
And on Conan. So
They
who
should
knows?
have directors. Directors aren't actors. Have them be the hosts.
So we have to bring up, I'm sure. Are we going to do what else are we watching? We do the intro thing of it? Are we done talking about the show?
Are we moving on to that?
Oh, we've been talking
Well,
about it.
do people want to have any more discussion of Crazy
you
Ex-Girlfriend?
Do we doing the fight? As we do the at this point, we do the like whether you recommend it or not, right?
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. Let's see who's either going to keep watching it, or would they recommend it to somebody else as a show that they would watch? Yes, just simple yes or no. We'll put Adam in the no. We'll just go ahead and put Adam in the no category.
I will continue watching it.
Are you going to continue, Dan? Wow.
Well, I'm going to finish the Suits first, and then I'll go back to it.
I mean, I'm obviously going to finish. I got 10 episodes left. I'm like, I feel like the end is in sight.
I'm unlikely to finish it or to keep watching, but I highly recommend it. I also think that it's, and Adam's an example. It's not for everybody. There's people. This is not a show you can say, oh, everybody should watch this. No, I think that more women would probably appreciate it than men. I think that if you're not into musicals, you're not going to enjoy it. But if you're the right demographic, it's great.
Well, that's what I said. I'm not into musicals, but I thought that they were more parody songs. They were more.
Oh yeah, I don't mean musicals. I mean into music. I mean it's you. For example, if you've never seen Cats, if you've never there's songs and things they parody, whether it's Les Mis or things like that, you won't get some of the humor as much if you don't have at least some background in music.
You can still fast forward through them. It makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
but,
like,
Yeah,
but
but that'd be like fast forwarding through Weekend Up Night on Saturday Night Live. You're skipping the best parts.
That's true.
there are songs like, but there are also like there are songs that I didn't get the reference the first time I watched it, and then have the one of Heather's best songs, "Stuck in the Bathroom." I had no idea at the time that it was
It's an R.
parody
Kelly
of
song.
"Trapped in the Closet." Yeah, by R. Kelly, which is it's a genius, it's an amazing
Yes.
song. And now that I have the context, it's even better. But it was still hysterical the first time without that musical reference.
That's awesome.
I feel like there are people who I would recommend this show to, and there are people who I would not recommend this show
Oh,
to.
yeah, that's what I
I
agree.
mean, like just being honest, like there are people who I know would not make it 5 minutes into. Like that was a wild ride. That
Did you
was
finish,
Like,
Brittany?
first night.
I finished. I think I have 2 minutes left of the Broadway one that the baby started crying and I had to turn off. But like, yeah, I finished. I have big thoughts on season 4, Greg. I'm just saying.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so
yeah.
ultimately, Brittany,
I'm just saying.
without giving things away for those who might want to keep watching, were you okay with the ending? Because I know
No.
you were having a lot of stress building up to that.
No, I was not okay with the ending. I was very, very, and I actually I think 2 days before I got to the end, I had messaged Amanda and said, if this is what happens, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, and I was like,
And
oh
then-
shoot, well, she's gonna be very unhappy.
That's exactly what happened. And then as it was happening, I was like, I knew it. I'm so mad. I knew it. I called it. This is stupid. I hate it. This was such a waste of 4 seasons. I was so because I was like, I invested 4 seasons of my heart into these people. This is how it ends.
I think it's a very good ending.
You're not building me full of confidence.
I think it's a very. I think the ending works really well with the show. I I fully understand why
Yes.
Brittany is not happy with
Well,
it.
and I told you, I said, in
Yeah.
terms of what they were trying to do, it worked, and I appreciate it in terms of the part of me that understands X, Y, and Z. But in the terms of me that spent all of my
So
life over the last month watching,
Your head was
everything.
okay with it. Your heart didn't like the ending.
Right,
Yes.
now I have to go do this tonight. Now I gotta go now. Go watch the last 10 episodes.
Well, when she woke up and it was all a dream, it was.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. All right,
pulling a
awesome.
pulling a Dallas,
That's why I said
On that
Suzanne
note,
Burnett.
Shall we move on? Are we ready?
Well, I want to know why Scott said hi in the comments all of a sudden.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Wait, did that just post?
Yeah.
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh
my gosh.
That might be fake Scott.
No, that's Off-White Scott.
Ah,
Off-White.
Great
That's
Scott.
beige Scott.
All right, what else you got going on? Who
I
else
haven't
went-
watched anything else that's consumed my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the next TV show?
We don't know yet.
Oh, so what else have you watched? Sorry.
DVD.
Calm down.
Oh, we are supposed to do that tonight, aren't we?
Yeah. That was good. Yeah.
All right.
How many are left on the wheel for TV shows now?
I gotta put a
Get
wheel
them down
together.
there 'cause I didn't think.
So we'll talk about what else you've been watching while I put a wheel together.
Because now that you've already picked the show Adam would have picked, what's he gonna pick?
It's very true.
Probably
We
Cop
watched-
Rock.
We watched The Big Lebowski
Oh yeah.
last night.
Oh,
Wow.
I've never seen that.
oh,
It's a Coen Brothers.
He's
so-
a
yes.
hero, man.
I love the Coen brothers, but they are very much not to everyone's taste.
It's on my list of things that I should have seen.
There were parts of it that I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it was fascinating beyond those parts.
My mom is watching Only Murders in the Building finally.
Oh,
finally.
great.
Love that show.
Yeah, I was seriously considering, which it may be a year from now, but I'm hoping then it'll be back on streaming because they're releasing it in theaters, so it's not going to be on streaming for a while. It would be a very odd choice, but Stop Making Sense would be a very interesting movie to pick. I love that movie, but it's not really a movie. It's a concert film, so it's a little bit of a different.
Ah.
I saw the Blair Witch again.
Oh.
Never seen that.
No.
I like Adam's comment.
Yeah, Adam went and saw Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
The boys loved it. He thought it was possibly one of the worst movies he'd ever seen.
How many cats would you give it, Adam? How many cats?
Worst movies ever seen. So it's got to be negative.
My kids liked it. My kids had a really good time at it.
Ooh,
Josh liked it.
29?
But he didn't go. It was on Peacock. He's watched it in his dorm room. Apparently, they released it on Peacock and in the theaters at the same time.
It might be one of those movies where it's like, oh, remember that? That was in the game. Remember that?
Yeah, I imagine if you're a fan of the game, it might be fun, but
yeah. So is the risk.
My mom also watched The Prom on Netflix, and she saw it in person. I went to see it again at the theater here. I do recommend it. It's not Adam's bag, but.
Does your mom want to be on the TV wheel? You should find out.
Mother, would you like to be on the TV wheel? Well, she's got three films in a row. Like
I know she's a popular lady. She's
I just want to go for everything, right?
Well, that is a month from now, so
it is. As I say, it's going to be an eternity from now.
I did see most of
spots on.
I did see most of Curse of the Were-Rabbit when I was at Amanda's.
Oh,
I love
that.
Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah.
That's Aardman, yeah. I was heartbroken when their warehouse went up in flames. That was just so awful.
Like the warehouse where they film, or like in the movie?
They like 4 or 5 years ago, all of their models, all of the stuff from everything they ever made was destroyed in a fire.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Wow.
Bless you.
We were gonna call Kent, our youngest, Gromit, like as a nickname, not as a name.
Wow.
Because,
I'm sure
because
he's.
when we were watching the
Does
DVD.
Keith do this?
No, but the girls were into watching Wallace and Gromit when I was pregnant with Kent, and actually he was already, he was born on June 12th. It was a Tuesday, or July 12th. It was a Tuesday, and there's a calendar in one of the episodes that says Tuesday 12th. And I said, look, we have to call him Gromit.
Yeah.
It never stuck.
I will say the first time I saw The Wrong Trousers was among the hardest times in my life I have laughed. That is just the perfect short.
Yeah,
I watched that when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and that train scene blew my mind. Freaking tracks being laid out.
And when he's asleep, and just plus the penguin. I mean, it is just.
And even when he's doing math, he's like, so I guess it would be worth 2 in the bush. I asked my dad, what is he doing with those with the slider? He's like, oh, that's how we do math. It's a calculator. And for the longest time, I thought that's what a calculator was. Then someone handed me this little T90 thing. I'm like, oh my god, I'm in the future. This is amazing.
Oh man,
kids.
Yep.
These kids today, Steve. What's up with these kids today?
What's up with these kids, Steve?
You know what show that is? David O. Russell.
Who are you talking to?
You. Your thinks is David O. Russell.
Oh, so it does. It sounds very familiar.
These kids today.
I should put up David O. Russell. No, don't put up David O. Russell.
No. I got this, guys. I got this. Here we go. Okay, there we go.
Wow. Yikes.
What is that from, Dan?
Dave, what's that from?
What was it again? It's been too long.
Steve, what's up with these kids today?
Oh my gosh.
Eric got it.
I totally. Well, you've been doing that impression for 400 years.
I know.
All right, so it's a Shakespeare.
You've been doing that impression since my 3 sons were on the air.
Oh my god.
Steve, what's up with these kids today?
Uncle Charlie.
Uncle Charlie.
William Demarest.
All right, are we doing this? Let's spin
No,
a
that
wheel.
was Uncle. No, William Demarest was the first one.
Oh, yes.
He was Uncle Bub.
Oh my gosh, I'm still on this one.
Wait, did my mom say yes? No, hold on. Wait.
Uncle Charlie was William Demarest.
Yeah.
I thought, and then
Yeah, the bigger guy.
Oh,
who
Jesus Christ. My three's... This
Fred
is old.
Mertz. Fred Mertz was on.
Is that William Demarest?
No.
He was the shorter, thinner guy. The bigger guy then took over. I can't remember what actor it was.
It was Fred Mertz. The guy who plays Fred Mertz. What is his name?
Oh, William A. Frawley?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, William Frawley. I knew it was a William. Yeah, William Demarest was these kids today, Steve. So you want to be on the TV wheel? I'm asking her on text and in person.
She's there?
No, I'm texting. Why would you be here?
Text and in person.
You said it, yeah.
Well, I'm asking her on the show here.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
Those would be your words. Back to you.
That's
I know. We'll check the tape.
Are you on the wheel?
She does not want to be on the wheel.
Why? Because I just got the Dairy Rose a couple months.
Fair enough.
That's a lot of decision
Maybe that
making.
was the last one.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
David Bowie.
That's a lot of testosterone right there.
It is weird how Fred McMurray, because you grew up in our era, he was the dad on My Three Sons, and then you go watch a film like Double Indemnity.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you just go, whoa!
Or The Apartment.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. I'm going to give this a shuffle.
Eric's been shopping at Macy's.
Plus, he was like the professor.
2/5 of the wheel is right.
Well, yeah, he was the son of Flubber, the absent-minded professor. Yeah. He was in his Disney movies.
I'd just like to point out the 2/5 of the wheels belong to writers. So,
Good.
she's ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Really? I don't trust
It's Scott.
Oh my God. What is that about? Oh no, a devious laugh. Scott's
No, I'm
last
just
show was
excited.
The Office.
Yes, I thought that was a good pick.
That was
That was a great pick.
Back in April, Scott chose
April?
The Office.
Yep, that was a while ago. And funny enough, I was just commenting on that one. I wasn't actually.
So while Scott is talking about or figuring out his show, I will bring up
and who I am.
sadness that happened this week. Obviously.
Oh, my.
Matthew
Oh.
Perry passing away.
Right.
The thing was, as has been mentioned many times, I could not stand Friends. But the reboot of Odd Couple from a few years back, I actually enjoyed him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good enough.
So
Wanna
at
take that back,
my
Dave?
at my lovely new job today, there's a conspiracy theory that I hadn't heard yet about this already. I don't know.
Janice did it. Oh
Yep,
my
Agatha,
God.
all along.
He had posted, I guess, a couple days ago on Instagram or something, a picture that said it was a picture of cranberries, and it said you'll know soon or something, and then it got deleted. Well, it was it the lead singer of the Cranberries who got drunk and drowned herself in the bathtub? And then so
He was also played
the
2 hours of
conspiracy
pickleball.
theories that it was on purpose.
See, I thought that just thinking that. As soon as I heard, I thought he did it. He killed himself. Just, I don't know why I thought that.
And Richard Mole, of course, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
And
have
Suzanne
Bulldogs.
Summers last week.
And Suzanne Summers. I
know
guess is that the trifecta?
It is trifecta.
Yeah.
70s, 80s, and 90s sitcom stars in order.
Oh my gosh.
Marsha Warfield posted on Facebook today a picture of her and John Larroquette. They're the last 2 surviving members of Night Court.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. Kind of crazy.
I do have a small Matthew Perry story.
Uh-oh.
I was an extra on ER, and we went outside to eat, and Matthew Perry pulls up in a silver. Hello, music one. A silver.
Give me a little music for your story.
Thank you. In a silver BMW Z8, which is like a $200,000 car. And he asked where. He's like, "Hey guys, do you guys know where they're filming the Gilmore Girls?" And we're like, "Nope. All we know is because it was on the Warner Brothers lot. We know this is ER, and that one's you know what that one is because it was the Friends studio." And he goes, "Okay, thanks," and he took off. And then, of course, in the paper you read that he was dating Heather, not Heather.
Lauren.
Heather Graham.
Lauren Graham.
Lauren Graham.
Lauren
Yeah,
Graham.
Heather Graham's a different actor. Yeah.
Wow.
Or,
This name drop is sponsored in part by Aglets. Oh yeah, baby. You know what I'm talking about.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
it made me think. Good.
What?
And that's true, Adam.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In fact, he just put out a book a few years ago. He was talking quite a bit about his
Last
addictions.
year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I listened to it because I'm a good reader, and he was dead. He was dead for a few minutes. His colon exploded from Oxycontin.
Well, and this is
and he was put on a machine that is like a Hail Mary, like you have a 5% chance of surviving.
Right.
And this machine basically, there were five people that went on that machine in the hospital that night.
It was a Blowflex.
It was a Blowflex.
It was a Thigh Master.
Suzanne Summers. Yeah, all ties in.
I'm just saying. That machine.
You're all wrong. It was a shake weight.
It was definitely a
But yeah,
Fisher Stevens was on the car story. Made me think Fisher Stevens was on a show recently, and he was talking about the David Beckham documentary that's on Netflix that he directed. And he said there's this one scene, and I don't remember which talk show it was Colbert or something. He was saying how that one scene that he know exactly what you mean, and they showed the clip. He's interviewing Victoria Beckham. And she's saying, well, we were a working class family, so we were just, and all of a sudden you hear from the other room, tell the truth. Okay. And you see David Beckham poke his head around the corner and goes, now tell the truth. Come on, tell the truth. She goes, well, no, it's really very, no. What car did your dad drive you to school in? No, really, it's not that simple. No, wait, just answer my question. What car did your dad drive you to school in? Well, he had a Rolls.
But it was used.
Yeah, it was 3 years old.
It was last year's model. I mean,
a working class family.
She was posh. I mean, she was always posh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
All right, Scott, have you got something for us?
You know what I really want?
What you really, really want? Tell us what you want, what you really, really want.
Come on.
I want to hear David say more nice things about Matthew Perry.
What?
Oh, so you'd like us to watch the movie Fools Rush In for
right?
No, we want to watch Studio 60 on Sunset Strip.
Oh, that is one of my favorites, but that's not streaming anywhere.
He's picking a TV show, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
I have a
And
strange
he's threatening to really annoy several of us.
It's gonna be Friends, isn't it?
Is it streaming?
I've never seen any of Friends, so I'm done.
It could be really relevant. The other option I have is this.
Boy, a blurry copy
Yeah,
of
we cannot.
Censored.
We're not allowed to see it.
I
So.
was gonna say you're gonna have to turn off your filter.
Yeah,
We
right.
know what your house
Or
looks
Or
like.
hold it really close to the camera.
It's super dark there. I don't know why.
Or just say what it is.
Yeah, that's also an option. I would
Behind them,
go with.
apparently.
No,
No.
we can't see it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You can just
Monty
say
Hold
the
it
name of the
closer.
thing.
It's Monty Python.
Oh, God, no.
Awesome.
Wow.
I do have the full Blu-ray set, so
Well, as long as it's streaming where we can get it, that's the problem.
Is
I
it
will
streaming?
pick good
Or-
episodes. of
but pick
shows.
whatever. But don't let my eye rolling influence you. Pick what you
said
want to pick.
several people.
It was Dave.
Well, Adam hates it too. We know.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam,
Yes.
yeah.
I have never seen a single episode of it, so I'm down to see what it is.
All right, I will find the best Matthew Perry episodes, and we will watch those.
So it's
Okay,
Friends.
where
It'll
is
be a
it?
trivia. We'll do
Where
Friends.
is it streaming?
Yeah, that's the question.
It's on Netflix. No, wait, who bought it? No, HBO. No,
No,
who?
it's probably on
Somebody just bought
Peacock.
it.
No,
I don't.
Peacock, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's on
Somebody just paid a
Max.
fortune
It's
for
on
it.
Max.
Hulu,
And it's on,
Hulu, Sling, Amazon.
or just
Prime.
go over to Eric's house.
or you
We're
can
gonna
come to my
have to-
house. I have all the DVDs. No, streaming is Max. HBO Max is going to be where it's streaming the entire series. Only
It's also
one,
on TBS,
Two seasons are on
Two
TBS.
seasons and one season
Fubo
on
TV,
It's on Pluto?
Buy the whole series.
Fubo.
It is not on Hulu at this point.
No, I am not buying any episodes.
My question was: did I hear Pluto?
Merry Christmas to
No,
me.
but that's only one.
Big Friends on DVD.
We don't have any of them.
Why am I
Adam
singing
is
Happy
not
Birthday
happy
for
about
Christmas?
Reagan and I just looked this up the other night, and it's not anywhere that we can get it.
You're saying your local library does not have a copy of the Friends?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we don't, or I would be watching it.
I would think.
What about?
Thank you for not watching Friends.
Oh no, my TV's broken, Scott. I can't watch it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does seem to only be streaming on Max.
Yeah,
Max
it says
spent
Hulu.
Max spent 500. Yeah, it's Hulu with the Max add-on.
Yeah, because you can.
They spent $500 million to get it exclusively. TBS still has it airing, I think. So you could set.
Yeah, it was one of those shows like The Office that got in a big bidding battle between streaming services.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my other option is Frasier.
But just the reboot.
No.
Only 4 episodes.
Fuck the reboot.
Watch your mouth. How dare you say reboot? It's not a reboot.
I know it's not a reboot. It's a
continuation.
We're bringing back exactly one character from the original show, but supposedly it's a continuation.
That is streaming on Hulu, and
That's called a Marvel TV show.
that's on both Hulu and Paramount.
I mean, they sort of did it with Night Court, and it's a bad show.
All right. Well, then we'll do.
No, do what you want.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Let's do Frasier.
No.
Okay, cool.
Frasier.
Oh wait, Max has ad-free plans. Hold on. Wait, do they have a free plan?
Max does not have a free
I think
plan.
so. You can get a free trial, but I don't think they
Look,
have a full free
TV
plan.
is a commitment, so I want to make this fun. That's why I'm looking for input here. It's not that I'm indecisive.
The one thing that's interesting about Frasier is it's a spin-off. So
It is.
do you how much do you I'd say it's a kind of spin-off you probably don't need to have watched any of Cheers to appreciate, though. It helps,
True.
but it's not necessary.
I only saw a few episodes of Cheers before I saw this. And honestly, Adam, I will also find episodes that you will like. I promise, Adam. You will like some stuff.
The episodes of Cheers that defined Frasier's personality most were mainly the ones with Bebe Neuwirth as Lilith.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, that's why she carried over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no free trial.
But the best character in the whole show is Niles.
Exactly. And his dad was great too.
Oh, John Mahoney was amazing.
11?
Yeah, so the fact that neither of them is John Mahoney's passed on, but the fact that neither of them is in it really hurts it. The revamp, whatever you want to call it.
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling.
A salad and scrambled egg.
Mercy.
Wow. Well, there you go. There's a show.
Adam, what do you think of Frasier? I must know.
Well, he said he hates you.
Why does he hate
Because
me?
what's yip?
Yellow Pages.
What's my problem?
We don't have
What's
time
that
for that.
show about?
We don't have
No.
time for that, God.
I was like, singular?
Oh my gosh.
You know, Scott won on the wheel, so it's his choice.
It's true.
That's how it works.
What's
He
up
wants
with
white
all the
yuppies,
shows
he gets
about
white
white
yuppies.
yuppies?
Yeah, so when yours comes up, Adam, you can pick in Living Color.
He
Or
might.
Georgia.
You never know.
The Bill Cosby Show. There's nothing wrong with that guy.
Yeah. Or Fat Albert.
I did something to the wrong library.
I
I sent that to.
All right, so the goal is, Scott, for you to pick 5 or 6 hours worth of Frasier. So 10 episodes.
10 episodes is a good for a half hour. We usually go with about 10.
Each episode's about 20 minutes. Yeah. I think I could find some very well-written episodes of Frasier where you don't have to know anything about the continuing story.
All right, there it is.
What isn't so much the tricky part with the show like that is it's never as funny until you get to know the characters. But that's true of almost every sitcom. And so it's picking Designing Wynwood was not a bad show. You know, you got Annie Potts, you've got Gene Smart. It was a good cast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Dixie Carter?
Alice. It was no Alice, but come on. What was?
The only show that's won more Emmys than Frasier, Adam, is Game of Thrones. Okay? It's a good show.
Yeah, and they were the same show. Come on.
Yeah, totally. They just couldn't show Frasier. It was too big. Never fucking mind.
3 hours. 3, Scott.
Oh, Adam, if I get picked for a movie during Christmas, I have
Designing
something in
Women
store for you.
Wait, Adam's going to pick Designing Women, which are white yuppies that run a design.
Interestingly enough, we have our double feature next week. 2 movies that we will
about white yuppies
chosen in November, and then we'll talk about Frasier, and then it's Christmas. So,
Adam, you can
and we know
choose
how
Real
much
Housewives.
Adam loves Christmas movies.
Oh yeah,
He can pick Real Housewives of Tulsa.
there you go.
Do they have Christmas episodes?
I do agree, but we both agree with Adam that Niles was the best character.
Yes, I'm glad that Adam was the guy who brought that up.
Well, there you go. It's been a long time. I don't think I've watched Frasier since it was on the first.
It's been a long time.
I have never seen anything of Frasier.
Well, there you go. There's not a lot less singing than there was in Crazy.
That's kind of that's unfortunate. I'm not sure.
It is.
Well, except that the lead sings the opening song.
Yeah.
Even
Much
a
like
reboot.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
There's too many good episodes.
Well, you're gonna have to force yourself.
Well, maybe
I
pick
know.
something else. If
You
it's
can't wait till the week before.
And I'll say this much for people who haven't seen it: if you're very theatrically inclined, if you love really well written shows that kind of have a weight and a style to them, kind of like old school 40s movies or just really good, well written stage plays, this show is going to be very, very funny to you. It fits very well into a sitcom, old school sitcoms kind of style. If you like something more like The Office, where it feels very realistic, it isn't as like satirical, then it's kind of going to be lovable.
It's like a lot of shows. I mean, I remember when I started, I don't even remember why I started watching it. I think it may have just been something that came on after another show. A show that I never thought I would enjoy, and I was just blown away by how good it was.
Yeah.
It was Sports Night.
Right? And
We watched that, didn't we?
I started watching it because of a
Great
girlfriend.
Sports Night. How about that?
Very good.
All right, we'll do Sports Night next.
So even though the subject matter isn't necessarily something that interests you, a really well-written show like that, it catches you. Yeah.
Well, that's like the show Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip with Matthew Perry. Only lasted 1 season, mainly
Or was that
because
Tyler Perry?
It wasn't Tyler. Mainly because it was a Sorkin show, just like Sports Night.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because 30 Rock came out at the same time.
Yeah, and they
both on NBC, and they both were about a late night.
Yep.
And
now Jennifer Aniston's on a show about late night.
Yeah.
Morning show.
Oh, that's just the morning show.
Morning show. She's about a TV show. Yeah.
It's night somewhere.
Yeah. Sorry. I am among the people who never understood the appeal of Jennifer Aniston. So.
It's because her head looks like a box.
I mean, I thought she was good in a minor role in Office Space.
Yeah, she was really good in that.
Oh, I love that movie.
Her best performance is in the first Leprechaun movie.
Her father was a very
Kidding. I'm
fantastic
kidding.
actor on Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, he just passed away recently, like the past year or so.
Victor Kiriakis.
That's right.
God bless you.
All right, my next TV show is going to be Community. So,
I'd watch that.
I do.
But only non-Chevy Chase episodes.
Okay.
Love Community.
Yeah, that's a good.
All right, so all the last season in the movie. Got it. Okay.
Well, it's on now. It's on Hulu. Community.
We should just do Cop Rock.
Oh my gosh, I watched that for a little bit.
I was watching. There was a YouTube video I was watching earlier it was probably over the weekend, which was talking about all of the summer replacement shows from 1979, and they were showing all of the intros to all of these shows, and it's like I had forgotten how many bad shows there were all being released at the same time. It was just horrible. It was just, and I'm sitting there going, so some of them actually were successful, like Real People. I had forgotten completely about Real People.
Love that show.
And there were a couple that were hits, but it was the season. It was the year Hello Larry came out.
Which I was just going to say.
I like
Yeah. That's with the guy from MASH, right?
Yeah,
McLean Stevenson. Yeah, he left MASH to do that show. It was sort of like the Ropers leaving Three's Company, and then they leave a highly successful show to go on a spin. Well, Hello Larry wasn't a spinoff. They leave a highly successful show to do a new show. Then that show dies immediately, and they miss out on 8 more years of a successful show.
Exactly. Streaming on Freebie, you can watch real people on Freebie.
Fred Willard
with Ralphie.
That's amazing.
I should have picked Battle of the Network Stars for my next TV show.
Oh dear, which season?
I know. Well,
all of them.
Was David Hasselhoff in any? I don't know.
Yes,
I think so.
Did they still do them back then?
You wish.
Yes,
When
because
Knight
he
Rider
was
came
doing. He did it before that. I think it was when he was on The Young and the Restless.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The Hoff.
Yep.
Don't
He
hassle
played
the Hoff.
Snapper. On
Oh, I wouldn't get offended at him. It's not my favorite show, but I do enjoy it.
Oh, Married with Children. I used to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It got really dumb.
It did. That's the trouble. It got a little repetitious and dumb after a while. But
dumb, or did it start?
When it was good, it was really
But it
good.
was good.
Once
And then
Ted McGibbon showed up.
it just
My favorite
stayed.
Married with Children joke was when they introduced that little kid and then got rid of him after one season. And the next season, the only reference to him was he was on the side of a milk carton.
Yeah, I remember that.
That tracks.
I remember him being on the milk cart.
Wow.
Usually when Ted McGinley shows up, show it's on the downswing.
It's in shark jump territory.
Yeah, ironically, the
Happy
shark jump
Days.
is
There's a
very
show.
early on Happy Days.
Okay, that show
I
is
did-
wider than Friends.
I did watch 2 movies that I just had recorded and hadn't. One I'd never seen before, and one I'd watched years ago and didn't remember too well. The bad one was I like screwball comedies. I really do. I love Bringing Up Baby. What's Up, Doc? I love those. There was one with James Cagney and Betty Davis called The Bride Came COD. That there was no chemistry between them whatsoever. You almost got the feeling they could not stand being on the screen together, and it came right out of the TV. It was just awful. But then I'd watched it a few years back, and I'm not a big fan of Angelina Jolie as an actor. I think she's but she was really good in Salt.
Well, yeah, she got a Golden Globe for it.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite performance is, of course, Tomb Raider, but
See, I rewatched Tomb Raider recently.
I do like Tomb Raider.
Both of them, and I was like, oh, these are bad.
Yeah, but
it
they're
was like
gloriously bad.
stuff.
There was so much posturing to look like the video game that it was really embarrassing.
But like, at least it was a movie that relied on practical effects and stunts, which is more than I can say for the last Indiana Jones movie.
Well, I am very much a fan of practical effects, even in the modern era, and I appreciate studios that still do them. It's because it's usually cheaper these days to do CGI, so a lot of them just do that.
It's because they're not training any more new people.
Yep. There are still good model makers out there and people doing really good effects, but it's, yeah. I mean, when we talked about Ghostbusters, I mean, the quality of the practical effects in that were 1,000,000 times better than the CGI. Of course, the CGI was pretty early then, but...
No, you just know that that's happening in front of you.
Yes.
Like, it used to be like, oh my God, it looks so real. Now it's like, I know it's not there. Right. So why wouldn't you be surprised and say, it's
them
right
sweating,
there?
Them sweating as they're carrying these heavy proton packs around, and the feel of those things in their hands, and then the dry ice fog coming out of the traps and all. It was just so incredibly well done.
Yeah, in the meantime, you had the CGI sweat of Melissa McCarthy because she wouldn't want to break a sweat.
So what do you really think of that movie, Scott?
Oh, it's the best movie ever.
How many cats would you give that one?
How many dead cats are there?
Hey, now.
See, one of the problems with that movie was it became almost a touchstone thing. Was if you criticize that movie, it's because you were misogynistic.
Well,
you couldn't take women in the role. No, it had nothing to do with that. It just wasn't that good of a movie.
That's what Paul Dano said, the guy who directed it, who is an amazing writer. I love Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
I love Spy. I love everything he did for The Office. But it felt like such a studio move in the wake of like, the really pro DEI Hollywood product that kind of came out in 2014, 2015 to just go, no, you guys can't let us have anything. No, it's not that. You're just taking something that is really great and using it as a dressing for something else. Like, make a new project. Make me.
I've said that many times. I said that when you take a property and you throw away what made people fans of the property, just because it has name recognition, and you use that to make your own franchise because you bought the rights to it, it never works.
It never comes across the right way, no. And some people are actually going to be smart about it. Like, they already talked about recasting James Bond, and there was some little trickling, like, ooh, they're going to do a woman this time. I'm like, why would you do that?
Right.
That's not who Bond is.
Well, but the problem was they changed the paradigm with the end of the Craig era by killing him off. Because previously, it was always James Bond. It was different actors, but it was always the same person.
Well, precisely.
And this time they decided, it's going to be a new 007. It's like, no, don't do that. I agree that Craig was probably the second best Bond ever. But the way they ended that for him was just such an attempt to make it a big, grandiose statement and not just let it be a good Bond film that I hated that movie.
It relied on the ending to carry it.
Yeah.
Like
now, did they, at the end of it, did it say James Bond will return or did it say 007 will return?
I don't remember, but it probably said 007.
It said James Bond will return.
It did?
Well,
okay.
Then, yeah, so I hope he'll still be alive somehow.
But the talk is that
and
Christopher Nolan's going to take it over, and it's going to be a throwback to like a 50s, 60s movie, kind of like what The Man from U.N.C.L.E. did. So, yeah, he's going to return in the past. Daniel Craig didn't die, guys. The missile hit him so hard that he did a Dad of Goku thing, went back in time.
It was like Derek Flint. He had some gadget on him that saved him.
Exactly. No, he had the dial from Dial of Destiny.
He had a time turner.
Yes, exactly. He really was Harrison's dad. We knew it. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Well, to Adam's comment, I really didn't care for the Ocean's 11 movies that much. The original, I mean the George Clooney,
I like
Julia Roberts ones. I never really enjoyed them that much. The originals, the Rat Pack one was pretty good.
Yeah,
but
pretty fun.
I never really enjoyed the Clooney ones. I just felt they were that the heists were so over the top ridiculous that it sort of took my enjoyment of the way of the movie away.
They're truly popcorn flicks, though. I mean, like that's just like.
I can take I like Kingsman is a silly, over the top spy movie.
Yeah,
where people's heads are exploding, and I mean it's just so. But I still enjoyed it because it was sort of. But for some reason, Ocean's 11 didn't do it for me.
See, I feel like Ocean's 11 and all the Mission Impossible movies are fall in the same category.
Yeah,
I agree. Which I don't like any of them.
Either one, right? Exactly.
60s movies with modern technology.
Yeah.
Totally.
But for me, like, that's the kind of thing that if it's on TBS at some point, I'd just throw it on, just have something on in the background because they're so fluff movies.
Well, everyone likes doing dishes to the Mission Impossible theme. Duh, 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 duh. It's good background music. For me, it's like what? Thanks.
Hit the wrong button. I was trying.
That wasn't trying to be that big of a joke. It was
exactly. That's.
I feel like you hate me for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, I know.
I do find it funny though. After we talked about people who go to Harvard, always mentioning Harvard, and Scott's here with his hat and sweatshirt on.
Well, that's the joke. Is USC Film School is if you is like Harvard. People let you know they went there. And I said, if somebody went to Harvard and USC Film School and they're vegan, holy crap!
And they drive a Prius.
Or if they have a Peloton.
These are also the only
the
clothes that
Peloton's
fit me.
another one.
So thanks for fat shaming.
Wow, that's a new one. I've never even seen that shirt, Scott.
He's a good alumnus. Leave him alone.
University of South Carolina.
You give me job? No. Yeah. Where'd you go?
Scott just watched a comedy special, didn't you?
Yes, I did. It was a good comedy special.
When does it come out?
The winter solstice. It's literally in the advertising.
Trying to appeal to all the Wiccan comedy fans.
Exactly. On the shortest day of the year, we will watch the shortest man of the year.
Yeah, Brad Williams, who was a little person he was very, very funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I saw him at the club when I was in when Barry invited me over. No, you gave me tickets,
right? You
right?
saw him in Malibu.
Yeah, I saw him in Malibu. Yeah, he was at the very end of the show. He's like, "This show is the stage is as small as me. What the heck is going on?" Back at some
Built
restaurant.
for him.
Yeah. No, he's a really, really good guy. I got to talk with him on Saturday. No, really easy going.
Are you done with that already? Or is there more work still?
I have a little bit more to do tonight because we were waiting for some other assets to come in. Yeah, Barry's having me pick up the trailer from his intern. So yay, good stuff. I got a Veep commercial.
Woo! And then you've got a poster to do. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, no, send me the pictures. All 137 of them. Should have been 147.
That's probably how many you took. You only sent me 42, and they're not. There's a few really good ones in there. Eric, you'll have to send me the ones you like.
Yeah.
Whatever works for the poster.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, inside baseball.
Halloween tomorrow.
Woohoo!
I'm taking my hat off.
You're gonna take your hat off? No way. Are you going as a film school graduate? Is that what you're?
No, I'm going. No. I'm going as a lighthouse.
I'm going as a Run DMC Jedi.
He's going as the Jedi from Clerks.
Wow.
Unabomber.
Dan can take his hat off. Nobody will recognize him. At least I didn't. So.
True.
I always loved the artist renderings when they were looking for the Unabomber. You know, it was just the hood, and you could just barely see any of the face.
And the glasses.
How are you supposed to?
Yeah,
big dark glasses.
The worst, most useless police sketch ever.
Those hung all over campus at Penn State, I remember. And just you'd look at it and going, "What? It doesn't look like anybody."
What is the funniest? Not the funniest. Brain fart. I'll get back.
What's
to
the funniest brain fart?
Yes.
This one's kind of up there.
I give it a 64.
All right.
Oh, we're scoring now? 72.
I give your brain fart 64 cats.
Adam, are you dressing up tomorrow? I guess that's the question.
He's already dressed up.
He's dressing up as Hagrid.
Speaking of me with no hat, I think I told this story already, but when we screened the sitcom down in LA, a friend of mine asked, why do we shave my head? Was I wearing like a wig thing? And I'm like, has it been that long since you've seen me without a hat on?
Yes.
And it had been like 20 plus years.
So you should have done the beard thing. You should have done the beard thing.
I know.
You always talk about it.
I will say a congratulations to Amanda for picking the TV show that probably had the most episodes watched of any TV show that anyone has or probably will ever pick.
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
Yeah. It's good redemption after no one watched Schitt's Creek, so that's good.
I didn't feel bad about that. But,
as you should.
I still don't regret it. I just feel bad about it.
Well, just a little bit.
That first night when she told us what to watch, we turned it on right away, and then Brittany starts blowing up the messenger.
I'm a little excited.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
what is this?
I wasn't sure if I was going to finish it. Actually, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep
tell
watching.
from your first few messages.
Those
if you
first
liked
couple
it or hated
messages,
it.
I wasn't sure if I liked it or hated it. I'm still not sure if I liked it or hated it.
No regrets. No regrets.
But I finished it.
All right, friends, I'm out.
You were moved by it.
It made her feel things. They just may not have all been positive things.
Yeah. That's a little bit.
Which is why Brian didn't watch it.
That's right.
Probably,
exactly.
yeah.
Where's Brian?
I don't know. We're trying to convince him to move back here.
Is there someone with a white and red striped hat? Where's Brian?
You said he's moving back?
We're trying to convince him to move back, yeah. We're working on it. We're pretty close. We've almost got him convinced. Because he's not, there's no jobs in Maine at all. Like he can't find anything. And I'm like, just come back here. Hello. We can get you a job in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, or you can find something down in Pittsburgh. You can find something at the film place in Pittsburgh, possibly.
Why is he in Maine?
That's where his family is. He came here for school and he actually wanted to stay, but his mom got really sick and they didn't think she was going to make it.
Okay.
So he moved back home and he's been taking care of his family since. So.
Yeah.
Is this the appropriate music for that, Eric?
It feels very Crazy Ex-Girlfriend appropriate for the.
It's royalty free.
How about this one?
Wow, what is that?
Well, and then there's the classic EriDan song.
Yeah, we could be playing. Okay, this song is called "Feeding the Ducks." I don't know what you listen to.
What are you feeding them? That's that bass heavy.
Some big.
Oh, this is okay. I didn't realize you were playing them off of here.
Yes, of course I'm playing them off.
Oh, here's some night driving. Oh yeah.
Someone loves their electric piano.
Here's lo-fi. Oh, it's backwards. This one's just called rock.
That's a generic name.
It's the new song by Rich Springfield, Rock.
This is from the album. It's called Song.
Wow.
We need a missing posters wall for the show. That's what Adam says.
What did he say?
We need a missing persons post wall for the show.
There it is.
Yeah.
Where's Brian? Where's Cody? Where's Denise?
Where's Mike?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
That's a better question.
I mean, we can go through here. Hold on a second, real quick. I'm going to read. So let's see. We have Brian, Cody, Dave 2. Oh, we have Dave. Jen, Reagan, Richard.
He's behind me.
People have openings.
Well, we can only tell from there's a head with headphones behind you. That's all we really know.
We have a Margaret and Dave intro.
It could be a psycho situation. You actually haven't seen that head move the entire time.
We did actually. There was one spot where I was waiting for somebody to comment. He's got like his Halloween costume. It's like a shirt with like a skeleton on the front and the back.
Yeah, I saw him walk by you.
Yeah, he stood up and walked out. And I was waiting for somebody to be like, "Oh my gosh, there's a dead guy in your house."
Again.
Again.
Murder House.
Oh, there was a good TV show. What was that with the John Lithgow? Oh, where that Murder Board.
No idea.
There's Rock from the Sun.
Yeah.
It was a pun on legal. It was some legal pun was the name of it.
Yeah.
I can look it up. It's John Lithgow. I know he was in it. The first season was really good. The second season was good too, but the first season was really, really good.
Trial by Death.
It was Trial by something, wasn't it? Or...
Hold on here.
Hold on here.
Wait a minute. It was
Trial and Error.
Trial and Error. That's it. Yes.
Oh, cute.
The second season was Kristen Chenoweth. First season was John Lithgow. The first season's the better season. It's sort of like if you've ever watched Miracle Workers. First season is great. Second season is bad. Third and fourth seasons aren't very good. They really just had nowhere to go after the first season.
It's like Spin City.
Yes, we know you have a Peloton. Get over it. Okay.
You see what you did there? This is wrong.
But we lost White Yuppie Scott, so.
Dan is really focused on something. I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm just looking for something. I can't find it, so
no.
Save it for another time.
The Trial and Error was the show about a a lawyer who was in this small town. I can't remember exactly why, and he ends up defending a local guy who's accused of murder. But it's just, the humor is just so bizarre and over the top. It's really a lot of fun. If you can find it streaming somewhere, I highly recommend it. Season 1. And if you like it, Season 2 is worth watching, but Season 1's great.
There's a new season of Miracle Workers.
Yeah, I know. Oh, so yeah, actually, Trial and Error is on Amazon Prime. So if you're ever looking for a show, it's not a ton of episodes, low barrier to entry. Watch the first couple and see if you like it. I really enjoyed it.
There's also, if you like Ghosts on CBS, they're doing the British version of Ghosts.
Yeah,
we love it.
I watched the first 4 or 5 of the British version and actually liked it a little better.
It's the original. It's so good.
They were The Office. They branched off from the British show more quickly than they did with Ghosts. Ghosts, they were really following the British scripts even for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love Buckaroo Banzai, Adam. I have the Blu-ray.
We watched the British Ghosts before we watched the American one, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And then we weren't sure about the American one, and you get used to it on its own merit.
It is. I haven't watched a ton of episodes, but I did enjoy it. I didn't think it did a disservice to the original show.
No, but it definitely. The British one's just so much.
Yeah, the caveman makes the British one.
Oh, it's so... oh my god.
Well, they could have a caveman too. I don't understand.
It's just good.
It is always trial and error when they take a British show and try to make an American show from it. I mean, sometimes it really works, you know, whether it's Stanford and Son or you know, wasn't All in the Family based on a British show?
Yes.
And The Office obviously was a massive hit, but
well, I'd rather watch the American Office than the British Office.
I love the British Office more. I couldn't
watch
it. The British Office is cringier.
Yes.
Which is why Eric probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. But
ours is really, really cringy, so it's worse.
I watched like 2 episodes of it and I couldn't do it anymore.
No.
I just love Ricky Gervais. I just think that he's brilliant in that role.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is the British Office has a real character arc to it. The American Office, Steve Carell is pretty much the same character in season 2 as he is the season he left. I won't say season 1 because season 1 he was a bit different, but by season 2 he'd settled into that role, and he never really changed.
Yeah,
whereas Gervais' character is very different.
Oh, really? That's
interesting.
He
built it's really a very interesting arc. They sort of build him up in the first season, and then they just completely tear him down the entire second season. Every success he's had in the first season is stripped away from him, and it just goes. And then they have the Christmas special that's sort of like the final, like a bit of redemption to make it not end on a completely negative note.
Yeah, that's interesting because you can see character arcs in the rest of the cast.
Yeah, but not really Carell. Yeah. Well, you certainly do with Dwight and Angela.
Yeah.
You certainly do with Jim and Pam, but you don't really as much for the rest of them. Yeah.
Kevin doesn't grow.
And Creed is always Creed.
Creed is always Creed is always Creed in real life.
Yeah.
And Meredith is always Meredith.
Yeah.
Stanley is hysterical.
Oh yeah, I love Stanley. And Kevin. Oh, Kevin is great.
What's really weird is that is not his real voice. That's not how he talks. And it just cracks me up when he starts talking on other things. Like I see him on Instagram sometimes, and I'm like, who is that guy?
But I do love a good ensemble show, though.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons The Office did so well is they gave the small characters their own space, and they really did a great job with it.
It's funny because we were rewatching some early seasons a few months ago. Reagan and I had something on, and they're in the the conference room, and there are all these people in there that aren't in the office. They're just extras, and then they weeded all those people out, and they made it just the people who were the regulars on the show. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, there were some down. I mean, when The Office went through the really dysfunctional relationship between Michael and Jan, it got really uncomfortable for a while. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that might be the time to 91 minutes
Yeah,
in.
we did it. It's a show.
Adam, I agree about Mindy. I don't like her either. Okay.
Mindy had some good scenes. As the show went on and she got a bigger role, it didn't work. But in the early days when she was just a small bit role like Meredith, it was better.
Yeah.
I agree with that. All right. Well, we will be back. 2 movies.
It's been real.
Long.
2.5 hour movies.
Buckle in, Buckaroo Banzai.
I will send you my scores as I can. Otherwise, I'll see you in.
It's not. It's Guys and Dolls and South Pacific.
To quote Buckaroo Banzai, remember, where you... Oh man, I forgot it. Home is where you hang your hat is one, and no matter where you go, there you are. That's the other one.
There it is.
And
Well, you
remember,
want to make sure you're here next week when we talk about musicals from the 50s. What?
Yep. I heard.
So yeah, Raise the Roof. Spend 5 hours on Sunday watching through.
Wash that show right out of your hair.
Amazon Prime, am I right about that? Is that where they're streaming?
I believe they're both on Prime.
Yeah.
I believe they're on Prime. So Guys and Dolls and South Pacific, watch them all.
And next Monday we'll have an enchanted evening.
It'll be Christmas before you know it. There's our last couple of chances to get in some non-holiday movies before December. So November is going to go by in the blink of an eye.
And also, it's a good time to think of holiday movies for when your name comes up in December.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because we're going to, pretty much, we've got 8 slots available for movies. So almost everybody's going to get a chance to pick a holiday movie. Should be. So, child, it's going to be fantastic.
Somebody will get to pick 2.
What?
I said somebody will get to pick 2.
Well, no, we do double features every week, but you only each
that's
week
true.
we pull 2 names every week. So
You're right.
yeah, so come up with at least one, and if people don't show up, then of course you could put back on
get chosen twice.
All right, see you next week for Musical Monday. Yeah, bye.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.